today. I was here for 5 minutes.
It's Saturday though, so I'll give her that. We've started our test piece of the micro cement.
And it's so bright.
Yeah, it does. But we are feeling so much better than we were with the Smartcrete. Oh my god. I think this one's gonna be way easier to put on. Still a long process, 2 primers, 2 cement coats, and then three or four layers of sealant. But compared to the Smartcrete that we were using
in our last van,
that was way more. We needed to sand every layer, and it was harder to work with.
This one is it's from a company called Mayodet, and it's their Concreta plaster finish. It is completely waterproof, which is great. We're gonna be using it in our shower. And what's really nice about this one compared to the other ones is that, or the last one we used, is that when you put it on with the metal trowel, that's not what it looks like at the end, because you go back in with a wet sponge and you can show the texture so smooth, and it was took barely any work. Last time we had all these lines that we had to sand down, so I'm really happy with how it looks. The color I'm in love with. The first layer you put on is darker, the second layer is lighter.
This isn't a tutorial, baby.
To give it color variation. No, I'm just excited. It seems like it's gonna be a great product.
That being said, we have no idea how it's gonna hold up in terms of flexibility and waterproofing and all that. So that's what we're doing this test for. We're testing some awkward shapes for our...
This is a very high density foam.
High density foam that we're possibly gonna be making our roof canyon out of, ceiling canyon. But yeah, we need to finish these so that we can see how much it flexes, how waterproof it is, all that.
We didn't put the cement here, so when we do the flex test, of course it'll bend here, it's wood.
Here, of course, it's gonna bend.
I know.
See how these
I know, you're gonna have to cut it though, so that you can actually test it. You don't want to work with me.
I want to work with you.
I said it feels good to be back in the shop. Eden goes,
She was in the shop for 5 minutes, and she's like, it's good to be back in the shop. I spend 14 hours a day in this. But 10 to 12. So we've done the first layer of our micro cement test, and what ended up happening is it dried much lighter than we were expecting. This is the color that we were trying to match, and it's just...
It's too peach.
What?
I said it's too light peach.
Yeah, a little bit too peachy, and this is kind of what we're going for, so it needs to be a little darker. So we're trying, this is why we do test pieces first of all, so that this doesn't happen on a piece that was supposed to go into the van. So now we're playing around with the ratios of the pigment to the micro cement powder, and going to try and do the next layer a little bit darker so that we can get a closer match to this. And hopefully we get the pigment ratio right. We're going to try 2 different ratios and try and get as close as we can, and then we'll know what we're doing for the rest of the van.
Uh-huh.
Oh, fuck yes.
So we got this couch for meetings, but this is the meetings. Good night.
Started finally working on wall panels. The way that we are doing these wall panels is we are actually going to be running 2 4x8 sheets on each side pretty much. Here, obviously that one's a little shorter, so there's just gonna be 1 here. And we've put in these temporary furring strips that the wall will sit on top. That way we know that it's going to be perfectly parallel with everything going on in the van. And then once it's sitting on that, we know the sheet is straight. Once we've cut out the window hole, we are going to screw the wall in, actually, measure the depth to the window, and then we'll be able to create our window frame on the inside. We'll take it out, we'll screw that in, and then we're going to micro cement the panels. And after they're micro cemented, we screw them in finally. So it's actually a very long process. I absolutely hate scribing. I don't know why, but it really is the bane of my existence. I just have a really hard time getting these perfect, but I usually get close enough. Some people like doing it, I just don't. But now that I have these templates, I will be saving them and I'll be able to use them for future vans and not have to do that, hopefully, anymore, as long as I'm using a sprinter. So the technique we're using to make the Happy Jack wall square, when we don't even have our partition wall yet, is we know exactly the line that partition wall is going to follow. And then we measured those exact distances to here and created temporary furring strips that we know are going to be exactly square with the wall that we're going to be creating over there. And now I can screw this wall in right along these furring strips, and I know that it's going to be exactly square once we have that wall. And that allows me to start working on wall panels and all that, knowing that this is 100% square.
So today's the day. Our skylights are going in and it's pretty simple, just alcohol to clean the frames, bead of urethane, and then putting the glass on. Pretty simple.
Alright, so in my opinion, I think we would slide it.
The feet.
How about, yeah, I just get one, you get one.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we were gonna be sharing.
No, we're doing exactly the same thing as last time. Get your corner.
I was on the ladder last time.
Oh yeah. How's your corner looking?
Mine's stuck.
Oh.
Stuck?
Yeah, I think my corner is good.
Should I squat on it?
Squeeze. Don't squat. Just squeeze. Watch the over. Don't go too much here. Squeeze say words.
Okay. Success or success?
Great success.
That's what I was looking for. Wait, how are we gonna get down? Oh!
Just scoot, go to that side.
Oh shit!
Just go to that side.
We
didn't set up the ladder.
Dude.
I can get down. I'll
I got it.
pull up from here, and I'll be fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you mean pull up from here?
I wouldn't have to do that. I got it. I'm nimble.
Oh, Ikey's also going for it. Don't hurt your neck though. Whoa! We would have been stuck up here. Wait, can the ladder reach though from the floor?
What do you mean?
How am I gonna get down?
Yeah, of course. How do you think we got up here all the time?
Oh, okay. Good job. Saved the day.
Can you help us down?
Bye.
So, this is what the van looks like after a little over a month of building. Doesn't look like much has been done, but actually a lot has been done. But that's kind of just how it goes with van builds. There's a long process until you actually see something that looks like progress, and then another long stretch of looks like no progress has been done, then boom, you're done. So it's kind of just the way it is, but gotten quite a bit done. Not as far as I'd wanted to go, but it is what it is. Finally got these skylights in today. Looking real nice. Ikey is working on the partition wall that is going to be just insane. Like, it is crazy how intricate this thing is. And yeah, next things are putting in the floor, building some these benches. The wall panels are actually the next thing that are happening right now. The wall panels and the ceiling panels, that's first. And then we're moving on to these benches. And yeah, a couple of systems that we're gonna start putting in. Hydronic heater and the AC. And yep, things are moving along. Not as fast as I want, but moving along.
We got a full studio today, or workshop. Ikey, or Shane. Shane's under the van. We're having a little musical number in here.
There was a little musical number for a second. Ikey's still working on the partition door. Shane is helping us. He's gonna be helping us a lot with this build. He's doing some cruising comfort and some timberline install right now. I'm working on micro cementing some stuff that needs to go in.
Good.
Okay, we've done the first coat of concrete on the first pieces that are actually going to be in the van. Not such an easy process. This stuff's really not so easy to put on, especially on very large surfaces. It takes a lot of time, but it looks uneven now because it's starting to dry in certain spots, but it should be pretty smooth when it's all dry.
We're on our way to Portland, and we're driving the van there. The skylights look so good outside, but we are flying to Florida and just for a few days, but while we're in Florida, the van is going to be getting a nice wrap. So when we get back, the silver van will no longer be silver. It's also kind of nice to take the van out for a drive when it's in like this state, because you can kind of hear what's rattling or whistling and take care of it before the walls are on, which is something that last time we had to do because we were driving the van to pick up wood. This time the van's just been in the shop, but now that we're driving it, we're definitely hearing some rattling that we're gonna have to take care of. You have anything else to say?
No.
Anything about anything else? How was today for you? You had lots to do.
Today was very hard to get the car ready for driving because it was in such workshop state. So it took me a couple hours to get everything tidied up and wrap up all the cables on the roof, and seat belts were disconnected. Literally everything was disconnected. So it took a couple hours. I got very dusty, but now she's good to go. Oh god damn.
Is this for our vlogs? Is that what you're
Oh, you just ruined.
Love the warm weather.
Time to see our wrap job. Oh my god. Wow. Damn, that looks good. Oh my god, that looks good. Oh my god, I love this color. It looks so much better than I thought it was gonna look. Like, I knew it was gonna be pretty, but god damn, that's beautiful. We ended up going with an APA film. I think it's called Gloss Sandstorm. We definitely paid a premium for it because it's APA or Valve. They're like a really, really high quality wrap company, and they make very high quality wraps that are also really thick, so they serve as like a pretty serious protectant for the paint of the vehicle itself. But it was worth it. Look at that. Damn! Just press the button.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh!
And it opens.
What?
And then it just automatically locks itself. It's quick.
Wait, it can't open right now?
No, you try
Oh, you can try as hard as you want and it won't open.
I don't have doors.
I almost gave up on it today.
What?
Really?
Mechanism. Yeah.
On the push stroke?
I thought it was gonna work this morning. That's why I was just like.
Why do you think it wasn't gonna work?
Just the alignment. There's a lot of factors, but
Oh my god, dude, no.
I just actually cut a piece of wood and clamped it instead of just holding it.
Oh, okay, and then it worked.
And then it just.
Wow. We just installed the smart tint on the skylights. Well, I actually did one a day, just because it's so difficult to put this on upside down. Because you just have to squeegee it and get it perfect, and it was just really hard on the neck and shoulders. But it's not a complicated process in general. It just involves cleaning glass really, really, really well, and then with like a razor and everything, and then putting on this liquid that you need to let sit for 15 minutes, cleaning it off, and then sticking this on. It has like a sticky back, and it's more about just squeegeeing it right, really slow, and making sure that you get no bubbles. Even so, we got bubbles, and we couldn't make a completely dust-free environment, so there are dust spots that got in there and made a little bubble. So
Very few though.
very few, yeah, but there are a couple. That's it. and it's gonna look great. Every time you turn on the current, these go completely clear, so.
There we go. Nice. Can't really see anything because it's a white ceiling above it, but I mean, you can kind of see that fire hose thing, and then you can't see it. And then you can see it. And then you can't see it. Today we're doing something really exciting. I'm actually helping out for once. These are the ceiling panels laid on the floor, and Eden has drawn the windows onto them. And I'll show you on my iPad what we're trying to achieve. So basically I did this sketch of like what it kind of looks like when you're inside a slot canyon and you look up, and now I'm going to try and copy it exactly onto the panels, and then Eden will make the cuts and hopefully it works. You want to explain what's happening, or should I?
Pretty much what happened is one little wrong measurement. This little line that should have been 1 inch forward. And sometimes it just happened. I don't know, I measured so many times and sometimes it just, you don't get it right. And then because that line is 1 inch too short, all 3 of these panels now just don't line up. And all 3 of them need to be remade.
Yeah.
But this kind of good news is that now that we put this up, we also realize that we don't really fully like how it looks because of these frames that we decided to put behind that are square. And I feel like it just loses a lot of the shape of this organic shape of the skylight, which is the whole point. And because you have these like flat square frames behind them, and that's like kind of the main contrasty shape as you see is that just that straight line, you kind of just lose the whole shape of the organic skylight. So kind of a blessing in disguise, I guess, because now we can think how to build these in a way where the shape will be more dominant. Probably by putting a lift around this, we try to figure out how to do that. But yeah, I mean, if I did them right the first time, we could have just modified the existing ones, but now we're gonna have to remake them.
Happens to everyone.
And take 2 on the ceiling panels. Some of these curves are a little bit too extreme, so we're mellowing them out a bit and getting further away from the edges and fixing the mistake I made in the measurements. That is how you know it's been a successful day of scribing. Second time is a charm. Still not done. Got a lot of framing to do, but oh, that was hard. So what we're actually going to be doing here, in order to not see this line, which takes away from the whole curviness of the skylights, is we're going to be making, with bendy ply, a wall that goes around and curves with these curves. It's not going to be easy to do because some of these curves, like this one, are really crazy. But we're going to be using some really thin bendy ply and a humidifier or a mister or whatever to try and get these curves over, and then that way we won't see that line, and that totally just takes away from the special shape. You just see the contrasty line, which is straight. So we want it to look like that. So that's the next stage, and it's going to be a doozy for sure. At least I got the measurements right this time.